Aum Nui. Aum Nui. Aum Nui. Aum Nui. Aum Nui. Aum Nui. Welcome to Human Wayfinder. This evening's guidance is going to be different. I'm not going to do a card reading. I'm going to do just my own particular flavor of guidance pulled in from my life and experiences and what's been coming to me. My own wonderings, wanderings, questionings, receivings, all this type of thing, dreamings. Yeah. So the kickoff for this subject was a dream that I had 2 nights ago. And the thing that really caught my attention was when I was coming out of the dream, when I was waking up and coming out of this state between dreaming and waking. That often for me is a place where my conscious mind. I think this is likely true for everyone, the repeatability of the universe and such. And there may be some variation, of course, but so, so in that little space between sleeping and waking, your conscious mind is online, but your filters of how you perceive the world, just the filter of, kind of like, I felt like I was going to say it really clearly and concisely, and now I'm like going into too many little rabbit holes about it. So let's just say that your conscious mind is online without the filters yet. Keep it at that. And then also, so coming out of a dream in this place, it was like I'd been dreaming, right? And it seemed to have like a rather consistent timeline. It wasn't super trippy or anything. Some dreams just jump all over and they're super trippy. This one was more real, like it seemed more like real life. I wasn't jumping through landscapes and flying through the air or anything. It was kind of like a real-time dream. But then in that sleeping and waking transition period, I saw 3 flashes of the dream, and then this spiral. It was a triad spiral that it was a globe, and I saw this thing spinning, and it was like all of these things coming together, and I woke up with this clarity, a clarity that was incredible. Oh my God, I get it! Oh my God, I get it! Yes, I get it! And then I like went and grabbed my phone to start recording a voice note of everything I could remember. And of course, already the all-knowingness was starting to fade. Starting to phase. Maybe it was phasing. So, like, and then, where do I go with all this? So trine keeps coming up, trine and go on tilt. Like now my representation of that is the T with 3 circles, and I wrote that out a few times. But so it's something coming. It's the power of 3. It's the Holy Trinity. It's unlocking. It's the final key. It's the final unlocking of your divine aspects coming fully online. Could also say your Christ consciousness being fully activated and having that viewpoint of all 360 degrees of your perspective is open. I've had some other channelings. There was my very first one maybe on YouTube actually. Macrocosms and microcosms, when I first started being aware of receiving downloads. Like I would just be driving in the car and start, like, rather than it just going through my mind, all these concepts, I just started speaking, and all this cool stuff was coming out that I was like, I mean, I'm interested in this stuff, and I've been watching stuff about this, but it's putting all the parts and pieces together. So whatever you want to call that. And I had visions of myself speaking in front of people, like large groups of people, audiences. Like, it kind of felt like a church setting, like a, not really church. I don't know how to describe it. Anyways, I'm getting off the point of what this, maybe I'm not. Maybe this is what it's really all about. The version of myself that we're building up to 555 here. 5555. So that's my, typically 505 or 555 is an expression. To me, it's a synchronicity of Christ consciousness. And I was deep into that back then. So, yeah. So to give, we could look at this through so many lenses. There's the astrology. I was just reading something with, I'm not going to be able to pull it up right now in my mind, but it was talking about the a rare alignment in astrology that, maybe I can, Neptune coming back into Aries, I believe, don't quote me on that, for the first time since like 1861. So that, like, and there's many other things, but I'm digressing. Getting back to the dream, because that is there's one more direction I want to go first. And this is what, before it was, when I was just digesting my dream and coming to understand my 707 fucking life path. Yes. The 0, the 7 has the, like in numerology, the 7 has the energy of 7. 0 is God, source, God point, the void. And then so to have the 0 between the two numbers, it's you're coming up to the mirror and you're passing through the looking glass, Alice. You're passing from one reality into another through that 0 non-point field. The 0 non-point field is also the void. It's also the womb of creation. It's also the dark night of the soul. It's also what's happening right now, all these eclipse seasons. Another thing, so this video that I watched from Alunia Noel, I think, Alunia on YouTube. I'd seen it up, and I just was for like 2 or 3 days, and I was avoiding watching it. Hadn't watched her in a while, and I don't know why I was avoiding watching it. Just like, don't want to. But I think it was perfect, because if I'd had the dream after watching it, I would have thought that I had the dream because of watching it. Instead, I had the dream first, and then the concepts that I was beginning to understand in my dream were mirrored in what Alunia was talking about. So I'll just like briefly summarize that she was channeling the 3 guides who are from the era of Egyptian times of Thoth. I think it's like a version of, I'm not going to say that because I don't believe it's true, actually. So yes, this is three guides, 3 intelligences, 3 conscious minds that are now in the spirit realm that existed in the days of Egypt and also existed in the days of Atlantis. They've come through several life cycles, and they are helping us through this time period because they don't want a repeat of the fall of Atlantis. They're trying to help us through a challenge point to set humanity up for the highest possibilities going forward. It was a cataclysmic, terrible fault of humankind that caused the devastation of not only Atlantis, but that whole time period. The world went into a great reset on trauma lines. Very traumatic for everything in existence on the planet. And these are the wounds that we're now healing we're coming 1001. What? Yes. So these are the wounds that we're healing. 1001. 1010. Wow. Full circle. We're coming full circle on 2025. The 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. This is completion. This year is completion. It's a completion of a major cycle that goes all the way back to the last golden age. And so the things that they were saying is that the Mayan calendar, when we, today's modern people, interpreted the Mayan calendar, we got the date wrong. What we thought was happening in 2012 is actually happening now. Now I haven't researched the validity of this. I'm just kind of like, let's just say for a minute that it's true. We can go on an imagination wonderland and imagine that these things for a minute. Let's just imagine that they're true. Sure, why not? There's a bunch of shit that we take for truth that's hardly. So let's just do this. Let's just play this game. So, if now we are coming to completion, what is required of us? What do we need to do? How can we move through this without understanding that to come to the completion of a cycle is to also have any remnants come up, be witnessed, felt, experienced again, on to some degree, to some level. And that can be really heavy, especially when you're completing a full cycle. If you don't resonate with the Atlantis, that's fine. But whatever cycle, life cycle within your life that you can connect with, maybe it's just your entire life. Maybe it's your family generational bloodline. If you see patterns repeating, if you're struggling with something, death, 1221, 1221, the death and death of loved ones, and what all that brings up, it can be very, very challenging, especially, some people don't have pretty life stories. All of this coming to, how do we move through these challenge points? How do we move through these? I consider them also to be proving grounds, and understanding that this is not just another iteration. I don't believe it will be the final iteration, but it is a culmination. 1313. 13's been coming up for me a lot, and for some reason I'm struggling to connect with, I don't even really quite want to know, what does 13 mean? Resistance. Today I was going through pictures. I'm going to get to the point here one of these days, but I was going through pictures on my phone, deleting them, feeling that this is one way that I'm deconstructing my reality. And one of them was something that I wrote to Jake on our 13th wedding anniversary. And we're getting divorced, by the way. We've been going through early stages of divorce since November. Some would say for much longer. And I wouldn't read it. Probably because it had to do with anniversary and whatever, but part of me was interested. Oh, what did Joanna 2 years ago think about the number 13? Because I was including a lot of numerology type stuff in the letter of 13 symbolizes blah, blah, this is the year of marriage that we're moving into, and these are the energies that we can embody together, and this is where we can go in life, and blah, blah, blah. And I wouldn't look at it. I deleted it instead. 1441. So, all right, I'm going to get to the dream. So in my dream, I was in a version of my childhood home. And And it was me, Mama, and Daddy. My parents have both passed. My dad passed a little over a year ago from brain cancer, and my mom passed 2 years before that from ALS. So my mom's been gone 3, dad's been gone 1. And going through divorce now, it's the power of 3. The power of 3 is hitting me. The power of grief of 3. The power of 3 of grief. Fuck me, dude. Like, it has been fucking bananas. Like, I can't even fucking tell you about it. Obviously, all of the explicatives coming out is the best I can do about the level of shitstorm I've been going through. Internally, externally, everything. Losing my marbles. But at the same time, staying grounded through it all on certain levels. So, in the dream, my mom was there, but I didn't really see her. But I knew she was there. And my dad was, like, it was at night. It was dark, and it was at night. And it was supposed to be quiet, and sleeping. And I was wandering around the house as I often do. I've always had trouble sleeping as long as I can remember. Even in that in real life, in that Barnwell house, I would get up really late at night. We lived out in the country. We didn't really have stupid little electronic lights around the house like everybody does now, and outside was very dark. We didn't have a lot of light pollution, so it would be like pitch black in the house. And I thought it was kind of fun to go to the bathroom in the dark, to find my way to the bathroom in the dark, and like kind of you can start to like sense that things you're getting, if you walk really slow and you have like your spidey senses out, you can sense when you're coming up to something. You might not know exactly what it is, but if you've lived in the same house since you were 3, you pretty much know where things are. So I had that kind of sense that I was wandering in the dark in the house that I grew up in. So this is clearly me now waking, is like, this is clearly subconscious mind territory, right? So I'm doing this, wandering around, and then all of a sudden my dad comes flying out of his room, or flying out of nowhere, really. And there's these white, it's like A-frame and crossbars, A-frame bars and crossbars, white bars, that metal tube bars, whatever, that are in these different little arrangements up on the ceiling or something. And he had this tool in his hand, and he was rather frantically, almost a little bit spastically, like working to get them down, like working to get him down as fast as he could. And he didn't seem normal. He didn't seem right. Like something didn't seem right about him. And in the dream, I rationalized. There was still, like, this is where I'm saying, like, it had a lot of feeling of, like, me trying to understand my life and my world around me. So I recognize behavior in my dad that I assume is related to the brain cancer, where he's hyperfixating, he's not being highly responsive to me. And I say very kindly, compassionately, "Hey, Daddy, it's in the middle of the night, can we go back to bed? Is it okay if we go back to bed?" And there were many times when I was helping take care of him through the brain cancer that I was kind of at my wit's end to get, how can I get Daddy to listen to me? Like, even if momentarily he's willing to go back and lay down, 5 minutes later he's getting up again and back on the same thing. And then over time he's less and less willing, and then he starts to be a little bit obstinate and 1919, like a small child almost. So this dynamic begins going on in the dream. And in the dream I'm feeling very, very sad, like, it's like what is the quality of the emotion? It's not just sad. It's a sense of loss. It's a sense of a precious thing that was so great and loved and accomplished is now being dismantled in front of you, and you can't do anything about it. That's what it was like to watch my dad go through brain cancer, and that's what was showing up in this dream. And then there were some other parts of the dream I don't know if we'll get to, because this is the primary pivotal part of what I'm speaking on today. When I was then, that very next night, I was watching the Alunya video about the 3 guides and how you were born for this. Yeah, you're born for this. That's been coming to me time and time again. You're born for this. You're born for this. You were born for this, for what you were, this other life, I'm trying to go in too many directions at once, but I have decided during this divorce, going through this, parents now gone, and now Joanna must care for herself. She must rise to the challenge and find her own resources or make her own way of life, make her own living, and find her own way. I've chosen not to go back to engineering. I've chosen to follow my dream path of expressing through my gifts and talents that in my past life during this lifetime, my past life that I lived being the person my family expected me to be, that none of this stuff was acceptable. None of this stuff. We were raised very Christian and very old-fashioned and nothing mystical, nothing esoteric. All of that stuff was made out to be not only hogwash, but also evil. So that's not true, FYI. There's no more evil than anything else. It's all just whatever fucking choices we make, I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not spreading hate. I'm not spreading dissent. I'm not spreading madness. I'm helping people. So you can think what you like about that. At any rate, watching the video with Alunya, and she talks about for the rest of, they discuss the whole, this is a pivotal time. March 2025 is actually the end of the previous age, which lines up better with that completion point of 2025. And they're giving these instructions, they're saying, this is big, this is big, this is big. This is big. Take advantage of this time. Use it. Use it. And this is another major thing that I've been uncovering, just there's so many different lenses to look through, whether it's astrology, esoteric, numerology, shamanism, Buddhism, Taoism, even Christian mystic, whatever kind of lens that looks a little bit into the future or into the unseen to expand our reality into what is past, what is just past our depths of perception. What's out there, what's happening, what's coming for it, what's next, and how can we, by looking at the history, by looking at our past, and looking at our future, and living in the now, but having some sense of where you are in this overall pattern and fabric of life, that is how you maximize your potential. To understand where you are in the whole process. And you don't have to know this all the time, but there are points. That's why it is just important to have people like me, who are Wayfinder, who's looking at this shit and bringing it to you right here. That not everyone is going to nerd out on all this stuff and spend hours upon hours and days and weeks of their life on truth. To understand what is truth really. To understand what is the void. What is the void really? What is the significance of the letter A? I will do that. I will do that. And it's not that I'm just making all this stuff up. I get synchronicities and really fucking cool shit happens that gets my attention, and I want to know more. So, this point being a ginormous catapult opportunity to, if there's things you've been working on, if you've been wanting to let go of certain things, if you're wanting to shift how you are in the world, if you want to live with less blame, shame, guilt, anger, that, it's fine to have those emotions flutter through you or move through you, but if you feel fixated and stuck and tortured, of course that's a problem. And these things, all of this comes into victimhood and slavery consciousness. They're very much intertwined, and basically all this whole planet was indoctrinated into a slavery mindset, which is also a victimhood, disempowered. So the way out is empowerment, but we can't just push the stuff that we don't want out and pull the stuff that we want in. It would be wonderful if we could just do it if it was that simple. But the damage that has occurred requires healing, and the healing is on the level of love and acceptance and witnessing with loving acceptance yourself and others. So, again, looking at the dream as our kind of a parable or parallel, witnessing my dad I didn't know what the fuck he was doing in my dream. I didn't know what he was doing. It was just like making me really sad to see my dad acting a little bit crazy, and he was my hero. He's always well respected and wise and smart. I mean, he wasn't perfect. He was funny. Like, he was just a fucking great guy. And so just whatever. That's just like, I already talked about that. So the deconstruction. How we move through, how we make the most of this pivotal time in the evolution of humanity is to take the rest of March. I know by the time I post this, March is pretty much over, but let's just save the next 3 days. Whenever you find this, all of this information is theoretically also timeless, because the way these things propagate out, even if you're not at this point in time of March 2025, there's still kind of like, there's the event. If we were to look at space and time as like a 3-dimensional matrix of webbing or fibers or whatever, there's going to be the singularity of the event. I feel like I'm doing like sexual gestures over here. So there's the singularity of the event. Yeah, I can hear all of your whatever. Okay, so there's the singularity of the event, and then it's going to have timeline strands coming out in all directions in the 360 degrees that this tendrils reach into. If we're going to look at the timeline as time and space, that this event, nexus, singularity, then like moves out through the quantum realm and touches anything and everything that's ready for it. And you may be earlier on the timeline, on linear time. It may be 2022 for you. So me creating this now could be affecting someone 3-4 years in the future. Like this is the nature of reality that we don't talk about, that we don't see, that a lot of people think is not real. And then of course also going out into the future, it can affect people obviously as well. So on that level, these types of messages are timeless, and whenever you find it, it can be exactly what you need. Of course, use your discernment. And whatever parts of it does resonate, all of us have our own versions of reality. We really do. There's wide collectives of people that have a for the most part, they have their realities are mostly the same. But this is part of why everything feels so chaotic, is that those constructs, their edges are just like, they're breaking down. And this is necessary and pivotal in exactly what has to happen. So the dissolution of your constructs. We are, as you might imagine, when we come to the completion of an age, the completion of a cycle, the whole thing is going to collapse. And whether that, we don't have to talk too much about what that looks like per se, but there's a lot of shit can go down. And tower moments, we talk about tower moments. We talk about dark night of the soul. These kinds of things, when life blows up, COVID was like a big dark night of the soul for the whole planet. But it brings spiritual gifts. When you take all of it down and compress it, and then you reboot, that is the interruption that allows divinity, your new format, to come back online. So what we're learning now is that we have way more control. We can have, we don't necessarily want to control this situation. It's a surrendering. It's a giving over to spirit. Whatever you relate to, whether it's God, angels, ascended masters, your own higher self, to work with them directly, more meaningfully, that I choose to go in. I'm asking for help because I really don't actually know how to do this. Not many people actually know how to do this. This is the point that I'm finally getting to understand, is that I've only been taught this much. And I think that I know so much. And compared to what I used to know, it is so much. But it's really only an itty bitty little piece. And these times like this, they're opportunities to go in and deconstruct, release what is no longer serving you, move through emotional states in a way that you connect with them so deeply that you are them, you feel it completely, intensely. And by connecting 3333, by connecting with it on, my eyes were playing tricks on me. It was 333. Totally lost my train of thought. That numbers threw me off. I think it's time to kind of like recenter and focus, because I'm going on many tangents, and all is of value, but we want to settle in for a minute. Let's do that. You are ready to show up consistently as you are. Be present, not perfect. The more you show up, the more the universe sends you. Prime the mind. There's something about asking someone to do something like this who doesn't feel safe in their body, safe in the world. It's a big ask. So do we teach safety? Do we teach safety first? Yeah. And it can be simple. It can be simple. We're going to create a safe container. We're going to do just some easy, guided meditation and breathing. So just get yourself a little bit comfortable, and we're going to start by breathing out. Push your belly to your spine. Breathe in. And have the intention or attempt to fill your belly with air when you breathe in, using your diaphragm. If that doesn't happen, we're not going to overthink it right now. But let's just get into a little bit of a breathing cycle. I am breathing out. I know I'm breathing out. Think to yourself, I am breathing in. I know I'm breathing in. I am breathing in. I know I'm breathing in. I am breathing out. I know I'm breathing out. I am breathing in. I know I'm breathing in. I am breathing out. I know I'm breathing out. I am breathing in. I know I'm breathing in. I am breathing out. I know I'm breathing out. I am breathing in. I know I'm breathing in. And slow it down. Think about the air moving through your nose. Feel the air, or maybe moving through your throat. As it moves past your lips, how does it feel? Think about the air as it moves into your lungs. Can you feel the coolness of the air coming into your lungs? Can you feel the warmth of your breath moving past your lips? Imagine the air exchange, the oxygen exchange through your lungs. The blood uptaking the oxygen and expelling waste. This cycle of breath is a little mini death and rebirth. It's a little mini death and rebirth every time. We're going to call in the love of our Creator, the love of the Mother, the love of Divine Feminine Mother, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin. Oh, I felt that one. Yeah. Oh, Mama. This mother love holds us in this place where we're starting to connect with the cellular structure within our bodies that is more connected to spirit than we actually are. The innate body that always operates according to its own natural design. No thinking involved. The conscious mind does not interfere and cannot interfere there are things that become stuck, lodged, stagnant within the subconscious realm that can express through the innate body. And that's where the problem lies. That's where we are being asked to deconstruct our towers. We're being asked to make the most of whatever we're moving, whatever challenge we're moving through in life, whatever we're being called to release in accordance with divine will for the greatest good of all, for the greatest good of self, for us to be able to step into our highest expression of life, of living happy, abundant, thriving, heaven on earth, where this world feels like a safe place, where we can trust in our community, where we have people who love us exactly as we are, how we are, and we don't have to be any particular way. This is what we were created to, this is how we were created to be. And we're taking this back. We're taking our power back. We're taking our divine birthright. Anyone who ever told you that you were born a sinner was misinformed. Our definitions are off. Our definitions simply are off. And we're going to take the time, we're applying ourselves now. We're making a stand here and saying that it stops with me. It stops here. It stops now. We choose to release the distortions, the untruths, all that which keeps us in victim, persecution, slavery, pain, shame, blame, guilt, mindsets. And whichever side of the fence you are on, whether you're on the version that tends to be the aggressor or the version that tends to be the victim, it's the same trap. It's the same trap. So we're going to activate our innate body, our subconscious mind, our higher mind, and all teams in spirit and all helpers on the earth plane, in physical, in form. We're going to call upon all of our resources here and now to assist us in deconstructing with love and gratitude and compassion. May the most benevolent outcomes and joyful outcomes be experienced by all. This need not be an overly painful process. We're going to do one thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, blessed be, and so it is. You can stay in that state if you like, or you can look at this, a deity of Hathor. This is the cycle of death. And it's a little bit shocking to go from that peaceful, from that shocking, peaceful meditation into a deity of Hathor. To me, this is a beautiful image. A deity of Hathor. What do we see here? It's not in very good focus, but we see the cycles of the moon. We see the butterfly. We see the butterfly at the crown. I'll read a little bit about Aditya. We're at 44 minutes, and I was wanting to keep this a little bit shorter, but it's not my style, apparently. Here I am, expressing as me. So, Aditya of Hathor, hidden blessings. You have beautiful dreams and inspired bold ambitions. You're guided to believe that they're a natural expression of your soul, something that is meant to be. Life will support you in the expression of those dreams and ambitions, even in the moments where it seems you're experiencing struggle rather than support. 444. The process. I was 4444. Ooh. 4 fours. The process, the fourth door. This is the fourth door of transformation. And then the 7 is spirit. 7 is my life path number. I could go into more, but I won't. The process for transformation into full maturity involves learning how to grow through light and darkness and back to light again. So experiencing the darkness in a new way, in the void. To have this divine feminine creator being, what we just did, that meditation was a expression of divine feminine that holds us in these deep transformational metamorphic states. And I mean, we can use these tools anytime. You don't have to be going through a dark night of the soul, but especially when you are. You will always find your way back to the light. Have faith in yourself and what must be. Dedicate yourself to what you love without hesitation. And be your unique self. It's all about authenticity. So part of deconstructing, our society has been in the place of molding people to be an expectation, to meet expectations, to be copies of parents, to follow the family line, to follow the rules, to follow the religion, to follow all of the things. And what this does is waters down and contains and filters and sometimes breaks our true authentic nature. And to be yourself, truly yourself, why authenticity is so beautiful and powerful right now, and is like we are like moths to the flame. Give me some more of that authenticity. Oh my God, like that's beautiful. Like people who are expressing their authenticity and just like shining it out. We see on the social media platforms that once they hit that critical mass, it's like whew, everything just comes in, and there's a reason that we're all aching and wanting more authenticity, more truth, because it is liberation. It is liberation. It's the antithesis of slavery, to be your true authentic self. And it's also how divine comes through. Each person being their true authentic self is a pure expression of divinity. Not perfect, pure, purely authentic for exactly what you are, how you are, whatever level of growth you're at. It's perfect. It's perfect. And when you are that fully and completely, it just shines this enormous light into the universe and ripples out and has effects on consciousness of other people and the realities of other people. And it's like this wake up call of like, fucking wake up. You don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to fucking do this anymore. Some people, it triggers the fuck out of them. But that will be their... Dun, 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 dun. A DT of Hathor, I guess possibly in reverse. We're gonna go into the healing thing, because this is getting close to an hour, and I was not intending on having it this long. Okay. The healing process for a DT of Hathor. I call upon the wild grace of the sacred feminine and give gratitude for your wise and loving assistance in my life. I accept your blessing to fulfill myself. I trust that you will show me the signs and impress upon me the guidance that I need to feel reassured, focused, and committed. Help me and all beings fulfill the plan that Spirit intends for us and has placed in our hearts. Only the goodness of your wisdom prevails, and every darkness leads me into a greater light. And so be it. It'll help to spend a little time reflecting in nature. It'll help you to remember the cycle of life. Yeah, connect with, we're going to set an intention right now for the cycles of life to impress upon our conscious and subconscious minds with being held by the sacred feminine, so that we can see this through a lens of Divine Mother compassion, that we can understand why things that feel terrible and painful, that we can understand what the benefits are of moving through them and feeling them bravely. This is a challenge point to not lose yourself, because these feelings can, like depression, become rather encompassing. So it's kind of like keeping your tether. You're going into the void, but just like a baby has an umbilical cord, you are tethered to the divine sacred mother, the energy of Mother God. You are tethered eternally to that. And so that is your lifeline. That is your lifeline, no matter how bad it gets. And if you start to feel scared, if you start to feel overwhelmed and like it's overtaking you, because it can feel that way. I've been in that place more than once, and recently, not like in December, it got scary for me again. And I've been through it enough times that I was like, all right, Joanna, you got to get out of this, baby girl. You got to go do something. So I went and got some good food. I spoiled myself for a day. I got my favorite things, and I was blessed to have some extra money to be able to do that. But whatever, and then the days that followed, I still, it's not really a one and done kind of thing, these types of things. But when you are able, when you come to it, meet it with, not that you're being tossed about, and you may feel that way, but not that you're being tossed about and that you don't have choices here. The void isn't a place that you can control, but it is a place that you can hold your own, and you can say consciously, I choose to deconstruct the things in my life that truly no longer serve me. I choose to bravely look at what I might have wrong, at what I might not understand, about things that I may have attached all that is important in my life. That thing may be false, and that thing may be a crumbling tower that will take me down with it if I don't cut my cord to that. If I've attached my lifeline to something that is crashing and burning, ooh, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be rough. No good. It's no good. These are the things that we can, especially if you start working with the divine synchronicities all around you, and it will speak to you in its own way. Everyone has their own way. Simply ask, and it will happen. It'll play out in your perfect way that means the most to you. But of course, if you have questions, if you want help, I'm happy to help and support. I don't know exactly what I will be offering or how my business model will be looking or any of that kind of stuff. But I would, this stuff lights me up. I love helping people. And I'm ready. I am ready. I'm understanding now that what's missing from my next phase is my clients. for the real magic to come through, of the real power of what I can do. And it's not, it's not me, it's not mine. It's I have been purified through my life to hold the light of truth to the best of my extent with love and, my, not perfect by any stretch, but, divine guidance, soul healings, emotional safety. Just there's like 1,001 things we can do, and part of my skill set is helping people match up with what's right for them. I'm not trying to get you to do things my way, but we all can plug into a higher level of thriving. 5555 Christ consciousness. All right, we're going to leave it at that. One more thing. This is the energy. This is the vision. What the medicine of Aditi of Hathor, which is the death and rebirth cycle, the one that we're being asked to consciously take part in as a co-creator rather than a victim. Yes, or a slave, either one. Okay. Move your attention to your heart space. Calling that heart to come online. May our hearts hear this from us now. My dear soul, you know what you are doing and how to grow in harmony with divine genius and sacred purpose. Even when my conscious mind does not understand, you know when I do not know. So I choose to trust you. We're speaking to our own heart and soul. And this brings me peace and comfort now. I trust you. Place your hands in prayer at your heart and bow your head. Allow yourself to sense, feel, or intend to recognize the unlimited expressions of love that are emanating to you from your own divine self, your own divine aspects of self. This is your lifeline. Your expression of Divine Mother comes through you, not from anyone else, through you, as you. Yeah, we're at that point. It emanates all around you, toward you. This is a divine giving and receiving. Yeah, this is a balance point. That as we shine our delight of divinity out, the universe around shines that light of divinity back into us, magnified, amplified. So much love, support, and light are bringing comfort and reassurance to you now. You have completed your healing process. Just know that over the days and weeks to come, that this will nourish you and liberate you on deep levels that you could spend years running, chasing out externally and never find. I believe in you. I believe in us. And I love you. And I'm excited to hear and see your divine transformation. Whoop, whoop. Lots of love. Human Wayfinder at your service.